Welcome, everyone. Welcome to True North. I'm your host, Renata Marino, and today we're talking about work hard, play harder. Welcome. So, the theme for today is a very interesting theme. Many of us, myself included, have spent years constantly working, and feeling guilty when we don't work. Especially when we're trying to pursue our career path, our career goals, aspirations. Anytime we are not working and we're having fun, we're thinking about work. So today I want to talk about how taking breaks, having fun, and stepping out of your everyday life, everyday environments actually generates ideas, fresh perspective, clarity, and you actually work more efficiently than when you work long hours, push yourself to the limit where that ingenuity, those ideas are stagnant. So let's kick it off with a story. Back in 2004, I was working for a Fortune 500 company, leading global P&L teams in innovation. When I started at this particular Fortune 500 company, there was a woman who had been there previously, and she had come from Nike. And one of the things that she learned at Nike on the product team, we were product managers. She brought this from what Nike had done in terms of innovation, generating ideas, and solving problems. Is Nike had a great strategy with team dynamics, innovation, idea generation, and how they solve problems. The way they did it was get out of the office. So every week, what they would do is they would leave on a Thursday around 4:00. They would invite one person in another department that was a key player, a key decision maker, someone who had significant pull in their organization, and they would invite them out off campus to a local bar. There were some rules. You cannot bring a notebook. You can only bring a pen. They went to a bar, and what they would do is sit at a table, and the product team would ask this particular person in another department, if you were given any kind of budget, any kind of money, what problem would you want to solve in your organization that's going to make your life easier? If they asked that same question to the person in one of the conference rooms that they had been at for years, the difference is that the conference room is limiting. When you take someone outside of an environment, in a fun environment, you're more relaxed, you're more open-minded, you're more apt to speak freely, especially if it's in a social setting with an alcoholic beverage or a beer. Not necessarily so, but it helps. And it's more friendly conversation rather than formal conversation. So what happened is we adopted this technique. And especially when I was hired for this particular organization, they had blown up the company, and we were coming in, myself along with other product managers, were coming in as newbies. We need to prove ourselves to the organization. We also needed to generate buy-in, credibility, and support from everyone who'd been there 20 years. How best to do this? Well, let's get some perspectives from the people who've been in the company for 20 years. So we did that exact same strategy. Every Thursday, or let's say every third Thursday of the month, I think we stretched it out, we would invite a key player in one of the other organizations that we were managing. as we were managing cross-functional teams, finance, software engineering, mechanical engineering, what have you. And we would pose questions. If you were given whatever money in the world, what problem would you solve in your department, and how is that going to make your life easier? And then they would go and say, well, if money was no object, this is what I would do. It's a pain in my butt. I want to solve this. And by the end of that, by the way, the key thing is no paper was allowed during these conversations. What we were allowed to write on are cocktail napkins. So we would have a stack full of cocktail napkins with tons of ideas, ideating around this problem that this one particular person was a thorn in his or her side. Typically it was a man, but there were some female. And so from that cocktail napkin, we actually, by the end of this libation ceremony, we were able to together collaboratively rank some of the top best ideas and basically say to the person, we can help with you. We can help you get this done. Let's go back, think about it, and let's create a project out of this. Let me tell you how much cost savings this helped with the company. And not only that, how many genius ideas and innovative ideas came out from this off-campus brainstorming libation ceremony. Anytime you take someone outside of the boring, same old, into a fun environment that is more lighthearted, more relaxing, and you're just having friendly conversation, great ideas can come out of it. That can be applied just for most of us who are in the office working or cannot be present when we're on vacation or when we're doing fun things. I believe that when you rest your brain from constant pushing, that you come back sharper, you come back with more efficiency, and you use your time wisely because you actually make time for fun. I am going to throw up a slide that, and if you could just bear with me, I'm going to reach over and I want to show you something. Here's a slide. It's called the vicious cycle. As you can see, somebody looks like they're burnt out at their desk. I think many of us have been there. So as you can see here, this is what happens when we don't take time out for fun. And we feel like if we constantly are working and work 12-hour days every day, that we are just going to have that much more output. We're going to reach our goals that much faster, and we're going to have career success faster than normal. That's incorrect. So if you can see here, overwork leads to burnout, and burnout leads to stagnancy, meaning when you find yourself at 3 o'clock, if you've been at your desk, don't you feel like you need a break when you're in your gut is telling you, I need to take a break. I need to go for a walk. I need to do exercise. I need to do something. And you see the pile of emails and you see all these people that you need to get back to. You say, if I don't do this, I'm going to miss an opportunity. Well, the problem is the state of mind that you're in when you try to get those email back, you're kind of in a derogative state, negative state, and you're just not as fiery and happy and high on life. And the demeanor and the way you respond to the people, the way you email, it's just not going to be that effective. So when you take a break and when you have fun and when you get outside your everyday routine, you come back with such clarity, such clear perspective, and a so much better attitude that the vibe you're going to be giving off is going to be so much more positive. The other thing is when you find yourself, you switch work environments, a lot of people, the people who are smart and literally put themselves in a different environment, you just come at things a lot differently, and a lot of the ways that you approach things is with a much more fresher perspective. So as you can see here, lack of innovation leads to unhappiness, which leads to sickness. I mean, this is a vicious cycle that we all find ourselves in, and it's really, really important to get out of it. Now I'm going to show you the next slide. This is how it works. So when we work hard but play harder, how having fun helps you work smarter and not longer. And this is critical. So as you can see here, there's a slide of kids having fun. And then underneath the slide, it's like if I can see and squint, basically it's getting off campus, going on vacation, doing fun things. And as you do this, you network, you make connections, and it creates, you can't even imagine how many things happen when you're having fun that relate to your work and that add so much more value to achieving your career dreams and finding your purpose. When you're in a new environment, like the example I just made, you just generate more ideas. That same example that I told you about, the Nike example that we applied for the Fortune 500 company I was working for, I also did that for one of my startups to create. I invited 5 women and we went out for drinks and ideated on cocktail napkins and came up with our logo for what would it be inspirational and what would we stand for and how would we want to convey to the world who we were. And this was all from ideating on a napkin and having discussions over Prosecco. Finally, as you can see here, you get to think outside the box. When you're off campus, when you're out of your network, when you move desks, when you're on vacation, yeah, you may think about work, but it is a completely different way. And it's not a forced way. It comes with random innovation and innovative ideas. And plus, when you put yourself in a new environment, you can see things from a much different perspective. So then, as you can see here, innovative ideas are generated, which makes you happy, which makes the team happy, and it's full of ingenuity. I want everyone to try it. Get out of your comfort zone, step out of the office, change environments, work in a new community, put yourself in a different environment, and you will see that when you're in a fun environment, when you're in a different environment, you'll have clearer perspective, more ingenuity, and more happiness from your everyday life. I can't tell you how many times I've been on vacation, connected with amazing people in the exact same industry, has made numerous connections that I could have spent weeks on trying to track down on online or an email, but I'm in an environment and it's a happy environment, jovial, lighthearted, and all of a sudden I meet like-minded people who are doing the same thing I'm doing, and the connection is made because it's in a social setting. It's so much more powerful than when you're in a business setting. So today's episode was about work hard, play harder, create more fun in your life, and you will see amazing, innovative ideas coming from a place of fun, happiness, and lightheartedness. Okay, let's do cards. Today I got a late start because I had a lot of morning things going on. Usually I have a very open morning. Okay. Tune into True North video and audio podcast led by myself, focused on overcoming adversity, finding purpose, and all through an authentic way of living your life. I hope you tune in. We are live every morning, 9 a.m. Central, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. We are also on YouTube, so please subscribe and you will have a pop-up and see us every time we are live. We'd love to have you follow us. This is the joy of my life, every morning. Okay, here are the questions. I am going to have speakers on. I haven't decided yet who. I do need to reach out to a few women that I want on and some men. But right now, we are just kicking off. It's been a couple weeks. Next week, it's early, but next week I'm going to be in a different city. So this is a traveling podcast. I don't know how it's going to work. You will not see this beautiful background. There will be, and maybe they might be flowers. I can see if I get my hands on some flowers, but we'll see how it works. It's going to be a test case for me. I'm going to see how well this mic works, how well the lighting works. But this is a traveling circus. Wherever I go, this is following me, and I'm going to be very, very diligent about doing this every morning, maybe 9, maybe earlier than 9. So I'll make sure I'll let you guys know. Okay, let's do Q&A. Normally this rapid fire Q&A is going to be the guest speaker, which is so much fun, but right now it's going to be me. What age do you feel like? 28. I've told a lot of people, I've always feel like I'm 28. I look like I'm 28. But yeah, I've in my mind, I'm always 28. Sometimes my body doesn't feel like I'm 28 when I'm running and lifting weights, but sometimes it does. I feel like I'm probably more in shape than I was when I was 28, which is actually a good thing. But I always feel like I'm 28. 28, I was in business school. I had probably one of the best times of my life. I was free. I was with really smart people. I was at University of Chicago Booth. It was it is the number one business school in the world. To be in the community where everyone is like-minded and just as smart as you, if not smarter, and just as motivated and talented as you, if not more, is unbelievable. And the thing about being in business school was that we're adults. You could relive the college days, but as adults. But more importantly is we're learning a lot more focused things on business. And third is with a more competitive set of people and people who are going to change the world. And so to be in an environment where you're with change makers is the future change makers of the world is unbelievable. 28. Okay. Next question. What's one question you'd ask a 115-year-old person? What's the secret to life? No. I would ask about relationships. I would say, what's the secret to having a healthy, happy, and long-term relationship with one person and then with all the people in your life? That's what I would ask. I think we can learn a lot about people who've experienced a lot in relationships. Not just intimate, but just personal relationships, business relationships, our partners, our kids. I think we can learn a lot. Okay. Next question. I love this. It's my favorite part. I think I said that. What hobby would you love to pursue if you had more time? Dancing. I want to take ballroom dancing, all different types of dancing, every week. I actually do want to do that, among other things. But I want to formally learn how to dance. I want to do dancing every week, all different types. It doesn't have to be ballroom dancing, but there is a dancing place, and I asked my son, like, do you want to take dancing lessons with me? He's like, are you crazy, Mom? I love dancing. It makes me happy. I like free-flowing dancing, but I would like to do it with somebody who's really good and knows. Teach me a lot. What would you choose for your final meal? Hold on. Let me start over. What would you choose for your final meal before having your jaw wired shut? Sometimes I feel like I need my jaw wired shut. This is it's a cross between homemade Italian pasta, like with my grandmother's sauce, like really homemade, with meatballs and every kind of meat in, like, literally. And it would be like farfalle, like, the bow tie pasta. No, maybe it's not. Yeah, I would say that. With the meatballs and my grandmother's sauce. Or pizza. Of course, it's Italian, right? I'm like half Italian. Oh, wait, but I need a dessert. I would have to be a cookie skillet at the end. I want a cookie skillet which has this like a not fully cooked chocolate chip cookie, like almost half cooked, like soft, just out of the oven, with ice cream on top, vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, and lots of hot fudge, and cherry on top. My stomach is not going to do well with that. And then they wire my mouth shut, and I can't eat for I don't know how long. If you could ask your hero about something, what would it be? Who was the toughest nemesis that you've ever conquered? I say hero like a superhero, but like a hero like a person? I don't really have a hero. Like there's no one person that I'm like oohing and eyeing about. I don't really look at people that way. Oh, there's people I respect and admire, but they're not my hero. I don't need a hero. I'm my own hero. I'm my own heroine. But let's say it was like a cartoon character hero, like my son's hero that he created. I would say, who was the toughest nemesis that you've overcome or conquered? That's what I would ask. A cartoon hero. And how did you do it? What could the government do to encourage people not to litter? This question's like literally my son planted this question. He's 13. He's all about the environment. What could the government do to encourage people not to litter? Oh, every single item would have some kind of like, well, no, could you? Yeah, you could do that. Some kind of technology tied to it where if it had to be thrown out, well, because anything we get thrown out, right? I mean, you get a tax, you get paid back for recycling, which you already do, right? I mean, obviously they find people who are littering. You definitely would get a tax credit. Like you don't have to pay, you pay less taxes. It comes off your bill. Do you know what I'm saying? That would be huge. Nobody wants to pay tax. That's what I would do. All right, this is the last one. It's girl power, and I can't see. And then I got to go. I hope you guys like this. I hope you liked it. I did. Okay, Shonda Rhimes. She's a television screenwriter and producer known for being a champion of diversity and promoter of equality in Hollywood. Here's her quote. Ready? You can waste your life drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. This is the thing. When I see people not helping other people, especially when I see people who are not helping people who are at a disadvantage, women, minorities, in any industry, in any situation, and socially, personally, and professionally. If somebody's going through a rough patch in their life and people, instead of helping, they actually squish you down even further, squash you down further. I've experienced it. Other people I know have experienced it. They just forsake you and squish you down further because you're already down. Oh, she's already down. Let's keep her down there. It's not a good feeling. You can't get into this industry because you don't look like this. You can't get into this industry because you don't have this. You can't get into this industry because you don't have that. Everything is about drawing a line and saying you can't get in. Now, the key is finding the people, and they're maybe few and far between, that do help you get in. They are your champions. They do see your light. They do see your strength. They do see what you bring to the table. And even if you can't find those people, you actually bring a chair, and it's a new chair, and you sit at that table. You can waste your life drawing lines, or you can live your life crossing them. The people who are drawing lines and not letting people in, why are you wasting your time focused on that versus crossing those lines and actually making room for more people? That's my question. Okay, here it is. If you were guaranteed to be 20% happier, could you give up TV forever? I don't watch TV. I just tweeted this. I don't watch any TV. My daughter just got me hooked on Stranger Things. I haven't watched TV in like 3. The only thing I've been watching the past 3 years is Ocean's 11, the movie. I think I've watched it like 18 times. Over and over again. Brad Pitt, George Clooney. I just keep watching. I don't know why. Is it my favorite movie? No, I just keep watching it. That's the only thing I've watched in like 3 years on TV. If it were up to me and I didn't have kids, I probably wouldn't even have anything. Maybe I'd have Netflix, but nothing else. I don't even know. I don't watch TV. I just said this on Twitter. Someone was like, how do you find time to create a social media presence while you're running a fund and while you're posing some question? I'm like, stop watching TV. I don't watch TV. If you were guaranteed to be 20% happier, I mean, does TV make you sad? I don't know. Or does it make you happy? You know what? It's interesting. I realize this. This is actually a really important thing. And then I'll end. When we have TV and media, it's a distraction of our thoughts. And so when you don't have time to sit with your thoughts, sometimes your thoughts are sad or negative. So we use distractions like TV and just being busy to try to avoid our thoughts and our sadness and our pain from our past. I think that when we sit with our thoughts without distractions, let's call it media, let's call it your phone, let's call it any kind of TV, movies, anything, and you're just sitting still, being present, I think, and you feel the pain or hurt or whatever happened to you or any feelings, that they're negative thoughts, you work through them. I personally think you're guaranteed to be 20% happier. I've done it. It works. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. True North, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. We're on Instagram. This is about helping other people overcome adversity and living their purpose in an authentic way. I hope today's episode was helpful. It's all about work hard, play harder. Later, guys. Thanks.